everybody. So in this lesson, you've got to solve some problems on Ohm's law. So here are some questions, and question 1 is quite straightforward. I'll work those out and put the answers up for you. But then there are slightly some other questions which may need a little more thinking. It's not hard, but I'll just take you through question 4. There are 5 of them. So I think it's nice for me to do slightly difficult question. It's not difficult. Okay, so I've worked it out on the board here. So here we go. So here's a scenario. So this is question 4 from there. So you've got a battery which is 12 volts, power the voltage across that branch, and then you've got 2 resistors in series, and then in parallel to that you've got another resistor. Okay, so the first question we have to do is calculate what is the current through the 4 ohm resistor. So that's this one. So we use Ohm's law, which is V equals I times R, or I is equal to V over R. Okay, so the voltage in a parallel circuit, the voltage across every branch is the same. So the voltage across the top branch is 12 volts, the voltage across the middle branch is 12 volts, and the voltage across the bottom branch is also 12 volts. So if you know voltage and resistance, it's possible to get the current. So you got voltage divided by resistance is current. So you have 12 divided by 4, and you get 3 amps, which is the current. And then they tell you that the current through the middle branch is 1.5 amps. Okay, and then so they say, what is the current drawn from the battery? So what actually happens is all the current that's coming out of the battery, 1.5 amps goes this way, and then we just calculated 3 amps goes this way. So the total current that's coming out of the battery is 3 plus 1.5, which is 4.5 amps. So that's the current coming out of the battery. You just add the current from each of the branches. Okay, then the other thing we had to do is what's the total resistance? So here again, we use Ohm's law, the equation, which is resistance is voltage divided by current. Okay, so which voltage do we use? We use the total voltage, 12 volts, and we use the current that's coming out of the battery, the total current. Okay, so we just figured out total voltage is 12, the total current is 4.5. You divide those and you get 2.666, which is 2.7 ohms. Okay, so resistance is measured in ohms. And then we have to calculate the last part. There's an unknown resistor here. So what's this resistance? So this involves a couple of steps. So the thinking behind this is that the voltage across this whole branch is 12 volts. Okay, it's the same. So that means the voltage across this resistor plus the voltage across the other resistor should add up to 12 volts. But if you look at it, we only know the current through this branch and we know the resistance of this. However, resistance and current, if you multiply those two together, you'll get the voltage across this resistor. So that's what I've done here. So voltage across the 3 ohm resistor is I times R. Current is 1.5 times 3. You get 4.5 volts. Now the total voltage across that lamp is 12. So 12 minus 4.5 leaves you with 7.5 volts. So that means the voltage across that resistor is 7.5. So now we know the voltage, and then you also know the current. So the resistance of that unknown resistor, which is R, is voltage divided by current. Voltage is 7.5 divided by 1.5, and then you get the resistance is 5 ohms. So here's the whole question. Might just take a photo for you and then I'll load that here so you can like just pause the video. Okay, there you go.